Good evening, my friends, and welcome back to Juve Therapy. My name is Roman, and I will be your host for the next hour or so. Our main topic, my friends, tonight is, of course, the game against Empoli tomorrow evening. So it's Empoli against Juventus tomorrow. But before we go into that um, game or football at all, um, I need to address the situation in Ukraine. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you. Even though I sit here, well, relatively safe here in Europe, my heart hurts, bleeds for because of all the bloodshed in Ukraine. And I just want to say that wherever you are in this world, if you are affected in some way, I really feel your pain because, well, I personally also am affected because you know my history. So yeah, it is tough, and I fold my hands and pray for those who are in the heart of this nonsense. Therefore, I don't know. It's just strange. It's almost with sadness I try to focus on Empoli against Juve because in comparison to what's going on in Europe is just it's secondary. It's second to none. It just life and death. It's something very very much more important than everything else. So yeah, we'll try to focus on the game tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Of course, there will be, as far as I've read, there will be 5 minutes of well, they will postpone the games for 5 minutes this round because of this Ukraine nonsense. So instead of the game starting at 18:30, for example, they will start at 18:35, so 5 minutes later. Just to highlight the the opinion of the nonsense that are happening in Ukraine, so to speak. So, yes, guys, welcome to the stream once again. My name is Roman. I run this channel. This is Juve Therapy. We'll talk all things Juve. All right, the game tomorrow. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. It's Empoli against Juve. What is there to say? We are a mess. We are a mess, my friends, and not only on the pitch, but also, well, player availability wise. Just listen to this, guys. Alexandro, he's not joining us tomorrow. He is out with injury. Giorgio Chiellini will be returning maybe next game, maybe next week. If I can guess correctly, it will be with the week after. Federico Chiesa is done for the season. De Winter, the youngster from the under 23s, I don't know if he even matters, but every player matters in this injured Juve, so to speak. He is in and out. He's not ready for today, for tomorrow. Sorry, he's not ready for the next week. Maybe the week after. Paulo Dybala as well. Maybe he's ready for next week. We don't know. Caio Jorge, unfortunately, his season is also done, finished. He had a nasty injury for the under 23s and had the operation. It was successful, but it will take a lot of time for him to recover. Really, really feel for the guy because, well, he's a talented boy with a great future ahead of him. Now, maybe this future is somewhat more uncertain for him, and I hope it works out for the guy. But so far, I haven't seen much of him to really confirm or not confirm his great talent. But in any case, it's always sad to see player injured in this way for this long. So for me, yeah, it's sad. And also, well, we miss one player. We're lacking now yet another player. So it is bad. It is bad. And of course, Weston McKennie also. They say that he'll be returning in the next couple of weeks. I feel that it will be maybe April, maybe even May, and that it's not long until the end of the season. So maybe his season is also done. So that's McKennie for you. And of course, Rugani. Daniele Rugani is also out with injury and will be returning maybe next week. We don't know. So, my friends, if you add Carlo Pinsoglio, who is not injured, by the way, but if you just for fun add Carlo Pinsoglio to that list, and you have yourself a decent 7-a-side team. Huh? It's absolutely crazy. We are so unlucky with injuries, and it seems to me that every season we struggle with injuries at this magnitude. Granted, Chiellini is not surprising. He's always injured at some point during the season. Dybala as well, not really surprising. But the fact that Rugani, McKennie, Chiesa, Alexandro are also injured at the same time, that's just either it's unlucky or there's something going on in Continenza that they need to figure out. But we also said this about Vinovo. Remember, Vinovo was always so criticized for, and of course, but thank you, Steve. Bernardeschi is also out with injury, but at least he's not included in the squad. I'm not sure if he is injured or not. At least on the injury list, he is not, according to my sources. But he's not included in the squad either. So maybe he's just not fit enough to be in the squad yet. I don't know, but he is not playing. He's not with the squad for tomorrow. That is correct. Yeah. So add Bernardeschi to that list. So just put Bernardeschi in goal, and you have a great 7-a-side team. But yeah, it is what it is. So with all these guys injured, and going back to Vinovo, the previous training facility for Juve, which was also heavily criticized because we had so many injuries, muscle injuries during training, and the players missing games because of those injuries, quite a lot of games as well. And they figured out that Vinovo had some moisture problem in the soil, basically in the grass on the pitch, which they were training on, and that resulted apparently in some injuries. That was very interesting. I read this report way back in 2000 something, but yeah, now they moved, of course, to Continenza, but the problems seem also to stay with us. However, these injuries are not. These injuries are just pure unlucky, in my opinion. McKennie injury is very unlucky. It could not be predicted. Chiesa as well. Chiesa is an explosive player, so though that injury was bound to happen sooner or later because he's such an explosive player. And if you know your body, if you played football, guys, you know if you're that explosive, you activate the muscle very quickly, and sometimes you just pull something, and then in this case, unfortunately, Chiesa did just that. Caio Jorge also very, very unlucky. Dybala is a topic for another another day, but we've had this topic. I don't know how many days we've had this. He's always injured at the crucial moments during the season, and it doesn't help Juve, it doesn't help him, and still there's nothing we can do about it. So this is an injury-prone player again. And Alexandro also, well, he has been injured now, but he hasn't been that injured during his Juve career. So this is also more or less unlucky situation we are in right now. Guys, it's a mess. It's really, really a mess. And we have so many questions as to why this is happening. And of course, people tend to just bash Allegri or bash the player, but the fact is that Allegri cannot predict this. Players cannot predict this. Of course, Chiesa, as I said again, when you just is that explosive, these type of injuries may occur, and yeah. The rest is history, basically. We've already talked about it. So there we go. Welcome to the chat, Daniel. Pleasure, Crab as well, Loretto, and Bay Creates. Lovely to see you guys. So Empoli against Juventus. We need to talk about that one because this is a very interesting game. And of course, Max Allegri was very, very defensive on this one, trying to give a lot of respect to Empoli. I just don't understand why he should be that defensive all the freaking time, but what you're gonna do? Basically, what he said during the press conference is that it's very difficult to play at Empoli. However, they are second. They have conceded second most goals during this season so far, 50 goals, only beaten by Salernitana by 55 goals. So That already should, I mean, should kind of relax guys and give them confidence that they can also score some goals against Empoli. And their last 4 games, they've lost 3 out of 4. They drew the last one, I think. And they also conceded quite a bit during those 3 losses. So, I mean, if we're not winning against Empoli tomorrow, well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Then we just completely uh, destroyed our confidence, however little it was already. But yeah, let's take a look at the table, guys. So as you can see, I hope you see it well. Let's see if I can maybe make it a bit bigger for you. No, that's okay. That's good enough. We see that, of course, AC Milan is top of the league with 2 points ahead of Merda. Merda with 1 game left, less to play. They one more game to play. Sorry, and Napoli, Juve, 54 points on Napoli, and Juve on 47. We did lose the last Empoli game. Yes, we did at home, mind you. That was embarrassing enough, Loreto. 44 points for Atalanta with 1 game to spare. So there's pretty tight right now. Very, very tight in the fight for the top 4. Imagine not being in the race since October with this roster. Yes, imagine. But then again, it's Juve. We are our own worst enemy. Lazio, Fiorentina, Roma following suit right after Atalanta. And of course, you'll see Empoli all the way down to on the 12th. But if you take a look at the goals conceded, it's 50 and only beaten by Salernitana with 55. Interesting. So they will be playing at home, but their record at home is not very impressive. I think it's the 4th worst record in Serie A home record, that is. So it shouldn't be too scary for Max Allegri. But you know what? It is what it is. He gives so much respect to his opponents, hence probably his tactics as well, to sit back and just close down shop and hope for counterattacking goals, which is fine if it works, but if it doesn't, it kind of looks very, very flat. And here you, my friends, can see the squad list that are, let me see if I can, there we go, much better. This is our team that's going to Empoli. Szczesny, Pinsolio, Perin, goalkeepers. Defenders, De Chilio, De Ligt, Danilo, Quadrado, Pellegrini, and Bonucci. Artur, Rabiot, Locatelli, Zaccaria, and youngster Miretti from under 23s, or rather under 90s, is joining this side. Forwards, of course, Dusan Vlahovic, Alvaro Morata, Moisken, Ake, and Sule. Those are the guys that are going to Empoli, trying to get those vital, important 3 points for us. Big question is, will we see any of these youngsters? No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think this will be, of course, the best lineup we can get with the older players, so to speak. I will give you my predicted lineup in just a second. And you see also that there is of course, no Dybala, which means Sule is in the mix. And there are very limited options in the midfield. Artur, Rabiot, Locatelli, Zaccaria. I think all of those 4 will feature at some point during the game tomorrow. It's difficult coming from 2 different managers as Crab and having to restart each time. Yes, it is. I'd like to think next season will be a noticeable improvement. Yes, that's what we are all hoping for, unless they decide to sack Allegri, which I don't think they will. So yes, but it is a good point, Crab. Yes, we will keep restarting, and it's always difficult to restart, but just look at Milan and their banter era for the last 10 years, when they basically restarted every single season with new manager, more or less. So the continuity is key here, in my opinion. So yes, I agree with you there, my friend. So this is the squad list for Empoli game, and to me, this should be enough This should be enough. Of course, if we end up scoring first, which is most probably will be the case, um, what to do? Are we going to sit back? This is the real question. Are we going to sit back and just invite Empoli back into the game? Or are we going to go and be comfortable on the ball, um, have, yes, confidence on the ball, being proactive with our subs, not waiting for Empoli to do something and then we react to whatever they are doing. If they end up scoring, how will we react to that? If we will get some silly red card, how will we, or maybe a PK, how will we react? It's all up in the air. But as I said before, this team should be more than good enough to win against, take the 3 points against Empoli. No matter Chiesa, Dybala, Chiellini, and so on are out. Alexandro are all out of this tie. We should still be more than good enough to win against them. So yes, and of course we have to look at the predicted lineup. Let me see if I can find that one for you. It's my favorite. Latest rumors, by the way, are that the Super League project will be restarted, or the file will be reopened next week. So guys have nothing to do, apparently. So it's it's another circus going on in Europe, and not just only the Ukraine nonsense, but it's also now the Super League. Mamma mia, the world can't just catch a break, huh? So this is the predicted, and at least my preferred lineup for tomorrow. This is also the lineup that has been rumored for tomorrow by Sky Sports, I believe, in Italy. So Wojciech Szczesny in goal. Maybe we'll see Mattia Perin, but probably it will be Wojciech Szczesny. Pellegrini on the left. There is also an option of playing with De Chilio, but it is Pellegrini. De Ligt and Bonucci. Bonucci is back in the mix. Welcome to the chat, Gonaldo. I'll answer that one in a second. Bonucci is back full fitness, it seems, so he will finally get to start again next to De Ligt. Danilo will hopefully be playing as well, but he will be starting on the right back. Indeed, so many injuries, yes. Welcome, no name, by the way. Bonucci, De Ligt, Danilo, and Pellegrini at the back. Yes, Rabiot, Artur, Zakaria in the midfield. I do believe Zakaria will start against against Empoli, and Artur as well. I do believe that Locatelli will get the rest to sit on the bench for this game. Rabiot still gets to play, and well, what is there to say? I mean, we have no options rather than to start Rabiot. We can, of course, field both Artur, Locatelli, and Zakaria, but then I don't know. It's just it seems that Rabiot has a special place in Allegri's heart, and he's a very, very special player. It seems. So he just has to play. Unfortunately for me, he was one of my favorite players last season. I think he has a lot of quality in him, but I just don't feel that Allegri can get this boy work properly for Juve. We see time and time again, there are mistakes, there are sloppy passes, there is this lack of determination, lack of attitude from Rabiot, lack of fire, so to speak. So yeah, it is a disappointing season from Rabiot so far, and there are also rumors that he will be sold after this season if a good offer meaning 10 15 million euros will come to Juve. If it is, we'll say ciao, arrivederci to Adrien Rabiot, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens after this season. Personally, I'd like to see him a bit more at Juve. I still think he has something to offer, but then he needs to improve. He needs to improve badly. But it is what it is. Quadrado, Moiskin, and Vlahovic all the way up front tomorrow. this is the preferred and predicted lineup from Sky, from myself as well. We need to start playing Pellegrini ASAP, says Loreto. And Pellegrini starts tomorrow. Also think we should keep Rabiot, says Loreto. Moiskin starts instead of Morata. Interesting with Moiskin, though, is that I don't want him anywhere near the target man position in the all the way up front. I don't think he is the replacement for Vlahovic. I don't think he is good enough. Very, very poor on the ball when he's pressed. Very frantic as well when he gets the ball when he's pressed. So he needs, just as Morata, he's the Italian Morata. He needs space. He needs places to run. He has that pace, which also Morata has, and he needs to use that. He cannot use that pace while he is a target man. He will only receive long balls, being physical, taking the ball down, and then give it to someone else. He will not use himself as the way he should be used. So it's this position for Moiskin is much more desirable than the target man, in my opinion. Dusan Vlahovic all the way up front, without question. Hopefully he will continue banging in goals. However, we are also in danger of being over-reliant on, we relied just too much on Dusan to score, to create, to finish. It sure seems like Cuadrado, Moiskin, Morata, Dybala are almost secondary. It doesn't matter if they score or not. It's all up to Vlahovic, and that's very easy to defend against. So Empoli will be all over Vlahovic tomorrow. So if they are, and if they manage to close him down, we will have a game on our hands, my friends. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm going for 1-1 though. We keep drawing. Hopefully we get a win, says the Italian Eagle. Welcome to the chat. I feel bad for Vlahovic. He's playing mostly his back to the goal. He needs to be in the front and the box, at the edge of the box, and making things happen there, says Gotnaldo. Well, yeah, I mean, what is there to say? If only he had support, if only he had support from the flanks, if only he had support once the long ball goes to him from Bonucci, De Ligt, Danilo, whoever, Pellegrini. They send the long ball to Vlahovic and he is too isolated. Why? Because we sit just freaking too deep. And the midfield is far away from Vlahovic. And that is unfortunately the problem. The more quality players around Vlahovic, the more he will, the more chances he will have, the more he will score. Just look at how he did things at Fiorentina. But with guys like Arthur, he will be very deep tomorrow. Rabiot doesn't have an ounce of offensive qualities in his body, it seems. Zakaria is an interesting one. So maybe he can connect with Vlahovic somehow. Moiskin might connect with him. Cuadrado will be too in love with the right wing. So yeah, it is. It's a real shame. It's a real shame how it's become with Vlahovic, but it is what it is so far. Maybe Allegri is working some magic off the pitch to try to include more players around Vlahovic, because as you said, Gotnaldo, he's playing mostly his back to goal. He needs to be in the front, in the box, and at the edge of the box, making things happen indeed. Unleash Locatelli, he can link up with Vlahovic. Well, he is on the bench, it seems. The rumors are that he will not be playing tomorrow. He will be rested, which is okay. In any case, I think we should beat Empoli, and we've tried that. We've tried playing with Vlahovic and Locatelli, and still we ended up being too defensive and too, yes, as Daniel says, very, very predictable. Super easy to neutralize it, even for teams like Empoli. Yes, you just have to neutralize Vlahovic, and then we have no prima punta, so to speak. So yes, it is what it is. So let's see here. Pobushino's in the chat. Nice. Nice to see you here as well, of course. So yes, this is the lineup for for tomorrow. I don't know, guys. What do you think about that? Do you agree? I think Juve needs to play Locatelli, box to box, and Arthur as regista. I feel like the midfield will be energetic that way. Yes, that could be. That's. I mean, this is what we are hoping for. This is the solution that we think of. But Allegri doesn't seem to think that way. Rabiot seems to be destroying this. Thing, because Rabiot gets to start every time. If we see Arthur, Zakaria, and Locatelli, for example, in the pitch at the same time, that would be a positive lineup in terms of ball possession. Probably the most positive lineup we can manage right now during this season. But it will never happen because there is just too much focus on the defensive side rather than offensive. This is why Vlahovic, as Gotnald also said, is very, very isolated all the way up front. So yeah, pleasure also to see that Bonucci, as I said, starts once again. Danilo will be playing as a right back, and no Di Chilio didn't have a particularly good game against Villarreal, but hence why he probably is benched. And of course, I still think that De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, a very, very good defensive lineup. Just the one with the best, probably also that we can muster up right now. Unfortunately, Chiellini is out with injury, so he is not available. And also the question is, when Chiellini is fit, how do you play these guys? I mean, with Matthijs de Ligt in there, you cannot bench him. Bonucci, of course, can be benched, but does Allegri fancy that one? Are Bonucci and are De Ligt and Chiellini too much of the same? They need that Bonucci type of player, that can hit those balls, play those passes. With Chiellini and De Ligt in there, there are no creativity from the back. Maybe that is the case, but in any case, right now, Chiellini is out with injury, so it's De Ligt and Bonucci to start tomorrow against Empoli. So there you go. In other news, well, what is there to say? They are very, very quiet, actually. Apart from the fact that, as I said at the beginning of the stream, there will be 5 minutes delay to the usual start of the kickoff because of the Ukraine nonsense. Question from Gotnaldo is, when is Dybala back? We don't know. Next week, they say. But this is the thing with Dybala, is that when he is getting back, when he is back, he still needs, one, maybe at least 2 weeks to get back into that good rhythm. And as I said many times, once he gets back into that rhythm, just give him 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then he is out again. And that happens every single season, which is very frustrating. And I understand why there are just so slow with contract talks. And honestly, I do not care. I do not care that Paulo Dybala wasn't the Milan Fashion Week. I don't care. Let the boy have some fun. Let the boy enjoy himself. What can he do? His body is healing. His agent is taking care of the contract discussions, and that's it. What more can we ask for? And the boy is focused, of course. What can we do? And the fact that he's out and about and having some fun, why not? I see no issues with that. So if there are some people out there complaining about Dybala being on the Fashion Week show or whatever, why? What's the reason? What can he do? You want to see him Cristiano style, working out in the gym 24/7? No, it's not going to happen because he is just not that monster, and Cristiano is unique at that point. So yeah. I think we should need to chill on Dybala and just let him work in peace. And the contract or no contract, we'll see. So yeah, smash a like on this one, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we are doing the preview for the Empoli against Juventus tomorrow evening. And well, if we are winning, that will help a lot. It will help a lot for the confidence, of course. It will help a lot for our players. And if somebody else starts to score rather than Vlahovic, it will also be a nice turning point. Without Morata seems to be rumored to be on the bench, is being replaced by Moise Kean. Without Morata, how will we cope without Morata, since he has been, well, somewhat positive? Of course, his finishing and his final decision is just horrible, just as it is with Cuadrado usually. But it is what it is. We have to take it, because then we don't have anything else to offer. Of course, we have youngsters as Ake, Sule, Miretti in the squad. Let me see if I can pull that up once again for you. This is the squad for tomorrow. So Vlahovic, Morata, Moise Kean, Ake, and Sule are the forwards. Even though Morata is in the squad, there are rumors that he will be on the bench. So it's Vlahovic, Moise Kean, and Cuadrado. And Cuadrado all the way in the defenders bracket, which is interesting. So yeah, it is what it is. I still think that we will see Cuadrado very, very offensive, and Danilo will be behind him. Welcome back. We missed you. Thank you so much, Fedia Fedorovic. I will even highlight this one because it's lovely. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yes, I am back trying to recover. It is what it is. And again, guys, smash a like on this one, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. In the bottom right, in top right hand corner, it says giveaway 2K. It's still there. It's still hanging here and waiting for some new owner. And you know which one that is. It is, of course, the CR7 jersey from last season. Still waiting for my 2,000 subscribers. So there we go. I think people are pissed because the team isn't doing well and he's going to fashion shows. You do that after winning trophies, show passion, I guess. Well, yeah, but I mean, they can't do that. They can't show passion every second. It's totally fine. I see no issues with that. And the team isn't doing well. I think Dybala has been doing well. And unfortunately, it's his injuries that people think that, we just have to blame someone, and let's blame Dybala. Of course, we would rather have Dybala in the side against Villarreal to have some creativity going forward, but it's just not gonna happen. Unfortunately, he keeps getting injured, and I'm not sure that he wants to be injured. He's just unlucky. It's just unlucky. That's it. And I mean, if I'm unlucky, why should I be blamed for things that are happening to me without my control? And that comes to the bigger question also. Are we going to blame players for not being good enough for Juve overall? I mean, well, yeah, but once again, is it really players' fault that he is playing badly at Juve? I mean, if you're not good enough for Juve, but you are still there, is it really your fault? Well, we can of course blame Aaron Ramsey for still being at Juve. Of course, now he's at Rangers, but he's not good enough for you because he keeps getting injured always. But he didn't want to leave anywhere. He wanted to stay, and at this point, yes, we can make that Ramsey will blame you for whatever it is because you're just reluctant to leave. But there are no offers for, if you take, for example, Adrien Rabiot, there are no offers for Adrien Rabiot. The club didn't manage to sell him. The club don't want to sell him, but he still looks to me very, very rusty, very, very slow, uninterested. There is no passion there. He's just basically not good enough. Milan Udinese 1-1 last minute now. Very good. Very good. So, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. And for me, it's crazy that we still blaming players for, if you're not good enough, but you're still here, is it really your fault? Is it really players' fault? And Is it really players' fault if they're not performing? Yes, of course it is at the end of the day, but also the coach needs also to take some part of the blame for this one. If we keep changing the coach, keep change the philosophy, the way we play, it also has the effect on the players. So there is also two sides to the story. However, yeah, I mean, sure, let's blame the player. It's because it's very simple, very very simple. But it's never that easy. It's never that easy. It's never that simple. Of course, isolated incidents like Alexandro against Torino. I'm sorry, we have to blame Alexandro for that mistake. There is no question about it. And no, it doesn't matter which way you spin it. We have to blame Alexandro for this one. Bigger question is, should he stay at Juve for next season? Maybe we should renew that left back. We should upgrade it somehow. Is Pellegrini enough? No, I don't think so. So, yeah, it is what it is. We still pay a substantial portion of Sir Aaron Ramsey's salary. Yes, we do, Daniel. Yes, we do. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. There is no energy to talk about football. I can understand that, Boshinho. That's why I'm, struggling to concentrate on this game for tomorrow, because it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to focus on football these days. But it is what it is. Hopefully we will find the peace in the day. Yes, at the end of the day, Alexander should have been gone for like 3 years ago. He's just so bad, says Godnaldo. Yeah. Some people may think that, and I can understand that. But he's still here, and even was captaining our side against Villarreal, if not mistaken. So it's strange, huh? Strange how those things go. Of course, if there are offers on the table, maybe he will go. But Allegri doesn't seem to have a problem with Alexandro. So. And we can react. We can disagree. We can be mad about this. But at the end of the day, it's the club who decides what is the best for the club, and it's not always actually the best. So it is what it is. So this is the squad list for tomorrow, as I already said, and we have also the predicted lineup. Let's look at this one once again. Share your thoughts, guys, in the chat. What do you think about this one? Do you think we will actually win with this lineup? Because this is the lineup that is predicted from several journalists and several outlets. Once again, Pellegrini on the left, no De Chilio. Didn't play very well against Villarreal, in my opinion, so he should be on the bench. Pellegrini on the left, yes. De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, Rabiot, Arthur, Zakaria. Will be exciting to see what Zakaria can offer to this side. Let me give you this one a bit bigger. There we go. At one point, you had Cancelo and Spinazzola at both flanks. Now they got Danilo and Sandro or Di Chilio. Well, I have to say that in regards to Cancelo, I think we talked about this during the watch along last time. Mr. SM Gun, lovely name. Thank you. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I have no faith in Ken. Well, neither do I. But I talked about this. Moise Kean is not the target man for me. Let's see what he can do on the flank. He did very well on the flank previously. Did very well for PSG on the flank. So we'll see if that maybe that will also kind of unleash his qualities also at Juve. We'll see. So Zakaria will be excited to see what he can offer to this side. He was brought in as a big signing. Him and Vlahovic, we all expected big things from him, but unfortunately he has been keeping the bench warm lately, and I was expecting much more from Zakaria. Maybe it will come tomorrow, we'll see, but it is what it is. In regards to Danilo and Cancelo, I think it's a win-win. It was a win-win transfer or swap deal. At the end of the day, of course, everybody would have liked to have Cancelo in their side. Offensive, technical, exciting player, beautiful to watch. What more is there to say? Perfect right wing back, perhaps. But he is a very shaky in defense, and this is why I don't think he would fit in well with Allegri football. Let's put it that way. Um, but he fits so much better into Pep football, which is completely fine, and that's why he is there. That's why he does it. He does so well there. And Danilo just improved immensely. Yes, Danilo is my top three, says Crab. I can agree with you. Danilo is just improved exceptionally the last couple of seasons for Juve. He has been monstrous and professional off the pitch, quality on the pitch, solid, consistent, no nonsense really, and I love it. I love this about Danilo. So I hope we'll see more of him also next season. With Arthur starting tomorrow, what can we expect, my friends? What can we expect from Arthur? I'm not sure because with Arthur playing, we will for sure get more ball possession, but will we do anything productive with that ball? It all depends on Arthur and probably Zakaria because Rabiot will only play in support. He will probably not create much. Real shame, really. And of course, all the way up front, it is Cuadrado. Yes, he does, Gotnaldo. Yes, he does. He's performing well for Cremonese, I believe. Yes, he does. But it is still far away from Serie B football to starting for the Serie A club as big as Juve. But yes, Fagioli is intriguing. I think he's doing very, very well. I think also he has been named Player of the Month recently in Serie B, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can confirm that for me. Of course, and as I said, Cuadrado, Vlahovic, and Ken all the way up front. Let's see how isolated Vlahovic will be and how many players will be marking him. And then we will have to be alert because once Vlahovic loses the ball, and unfortunately he will, we need to be around that to picking up the second ball, as we say in Norway. Cuadrado needs to be close to him if he starts as high up the pitch as I think he will. Same thing goes with Moise Kean. And for heaven's sake, guys, shoot more. I want to see more shots on target. I want to see more strikes. I want to see more belief, determination that we can actually score goals ourselves without including Vlahovic, without going the boring one-way football. So yeah, I want to see flexibility from this side tomorrow. That is what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. Ragazzo Italiano, welcome to the stream. Empoli play a style of play that Agnelli would be allergic to watch. Allegric to watch. I see what you did there. Allegric. Yeah. Allegri to watch. Lovely. Yeah, but as I said before, as I said at the start of the stream, Empoli have conceded most goals in the Serie A apart from Salernitana. Salernitana conceded 55, Empoli conceded 50. So we for sure need to score at least 2 goals against these guys. But yeah, I mean, what can we say? It's all up to the guys who will play tomorrow. Huh? Quick look at the Empoli roster, and it's nothing interesting, I have to say. Let me see. Why am I'm probably lagging. I'm sorry if I lag. I have a 7-year-old Mac which should do this on, which is completely unacceptable, I know. But it is what it is. Yeah, there are very few. I mean, we have Patrick Cutrone. I remember Patrick Cutrone playing for Milan back in the day, was sold to Wolves for 30 million euros, which is a steal for Milan, basically. Now he's back in Serie A, 24 years of age. I thought he was much older. Playing for Empoli. Andrea Pinamonti, of course, 22 years old, playing as a striker. Federico Di Francesco, also in the side. Valerio Verre in the side. However, he is out with injury, it seems. Marco Benassi is there. And Well, yeah, that's it. Lorenzo Tonelli is there, and Liam Henderson, the Scot. That's it. The rest is just. Nedim Bajrami is also interesting one. 22-year-old playing on the midfield. But in any case, however you want to spin it, we are better than this. We are better than them. Milan just drew with Udinese. Great stuff. Gonzalo, thank you. Their midfield onwards are very good. Di Francesco Henderson, Stojanovic at right back is fantastic. Bajrami attacking midfield. Luperto at CB, very, very good. I mean, still though, 13th place. Haven't won in 4 games, 3 losses in the last 4 at home. We have all the chances. We have what it takes to win against them. Anything else than a W will be an embarrassment. And we need that W because we already drew too many games. Already we have one against Atalanta and against Torino. And of course Villarreal, even though that is Champions League. Yeah. Milan drawing with Udinese. Everyone is in this together to save face for Allegri. Well, just you wait. Whatever happens tomorrow. If we win, we are closing in on the top 3. At least a little bit. But we have to win. We still have to win. We have a stronger squad, but Andreazzoli is a smart guy, apparently. And shits on Allegri as a coach. Well, we shall see. And if that is what he meant, Allegri, during his press conference, that it's tough to play against Empoli, and he had a lot of respect for Empoli, I get that. But to be that defensive in the during the press conferences is just very, very generic. It's just the same thing over and over again. And enough is enough. I get that you respect Juric, and I get that you respect Gasperini. I get that you respect Unai Emery, but you don't have to sit back and just allow them to control everything that's going on the pitch. Yes, I'm aware of that, ragazzo. Yes, Andreazzoli was Spalletti's assistant at Roma during their best years. Yeah, one of their best years was actually when they ended up being number 2 to Juve, I think, with Rudy Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. He respects those who are better than him. Yeah, well, he shouldn't put that on camera, should he, though? It is what it is with Allegri. But again, we start with a 4-3-3 formation, it seems. Most likely to be more of a 4-5-1 in defense, and maybe a 4-4-2 with Ken and Vlahovic all the way up front, and Quadrado on the right, Rabiot on the left, and Pellegrini and Danilo behind those guys. So this will probably be the solution Allegri will be going for. Predictions, my friends. 48 minutes into the chat, into the stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go with predictions. Somebody predicted a draw here. It was, of course, Daniel. Man, why are you so realistic? I want to see some positivity. Somebody was talking about the L already. I think it was somebody. We will win 2-0. Wow. We'll win 2-0, says Steve. 2-4 to Juve from Ragazzo Italiano. Wow, 2-4. We actually concede 2 goals against Empoli. How? Atalanta getting broke by Americans. My hopes of getting Gasperini are gone. 1-1 from Daniel. Yes, indeed. 1-1. Such a shame if that happens. I think we will win this one tomorrow, my friends, but I think it will be just. I think we will win 1-0 tomorrow. It will be just. We will not concede. I don't think they will have enough quality to score, but we will just score probably something stupid, some free kick, or basically some set piece. Maybe Vlahovic will belt yet another one. We'll see. 1-0 win from Mr. Gunn. I can see it. Sorry, Empoli will score. I'm very positive, but we will catch them on the break more. Well, we shall see. The game starts at 6:05 if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow, Italian time, 5 minutes, because of they are highlight or focusing um, on the nonsense that's going on in Ukraine. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if that can help much, but at least the world of football will focus on that issue for 5 minutes and show their support towards those affected. Um, and of course, it's a real shame that it is happening right now. We're just starting to getting over with this COVID nonsense, with the side effects and with the social distancing, the economies that are on the verge of collapsing because of COVID. Now we're slowly getting back to normal life, and this comes now. It just never ends. Life is life, and we just have to cope with whatever the world brings to us, to our table, and cope with it the best way possible. And for me, I'm very, very glad that we live where we live, and we can at least try to enjoy football. Of course, it's very, very bad of me to compare football and the real life, what is going on in Ukraine. But it's just very little we can do from where we sit. Of course, we can show support, we can fold our hands and pray and hope for the better future and for peace. Um, as long as the world continues to exist, we have to coexist within this world. And if the football is on, we will just continue watching football. And even though, of course, we will not forget what's happening around us. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's focus on the game tomorrow, my friends. We'll be doing a watch along. I'm not sure if any of my boys will be joining me, but maybe, just maybe, my good friend Oscar will be back in the stream tomorrow. It will be great to see my boy, huh? He's 5 now. He's 5. Phew. Time flies, huh? Time flies, my friends. Time flies. We have to coexist with Allegri. We can deal with everything as Juventus fans. Yeah, we've dealt with 7 Champions League losses. We've dealt with losing to Empoli at freaking home. We're used to mostly everything. Yeah, it is what it is. We're used to relegation in 2006. We're used to being knocked out by Fulham in the Europa League. Yeah, used to getting the GOAT Cristiano Ronaldo in hopes of winning the Champions League. We end up being on the worse side than we were the season before. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. What's on the back of Oscar jerseys, by the way? I forgot to ask. Nothing. Nobody. There is nobody. It's just a home kit without any name. But next kit, maybe there will be a name behind it on the back. He wanted Kulusevski. For some strange reason, he wanted Kulusevski on the back. And I said, you are absolutely nuts. You don't want Slim Shady on the back. So, yeah. And now he's gone to Tottenham. So I kind of saved my ass there. People say we're favored. Yeah, imagine losing 7 Champions League finals and me personally being at Craven Cottage seeing Fulham beat us 4-1. Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah, it's a real shame, huh? But we are still here. We are still breathing. And yeah, let's focus our attention on Empoli against Juve tomorrow. As I said, there will be watch along, so don't forget to join me during that one. Probably, yeah, we'll probably have some guests on. And yeah, as I said, my prediction is a boring 1-0. Once again, before we go end up this stream, this is the lineup for tomorrow. Probable lineup: Wojciech Szczesny in goal, Pellegrini, De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, Rabiot, Arthur, Zakaria, Moiskian, Vlahovic, and Cuadrado all the way up front. Whether it is 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, I don't think that is. Actually, maybe it's 4-4-2, 4-5-1. We'll see. If I know Allegri correctly, more likely it will be a 4-5-1. But still, I think we will win 1-0 though. Fino alla fine, guys. Fino alla fine. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Gotta end up this stream. Hope to see you tomorrow on the watch along, and have a good one. Have a good night, and thank you again so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this one, this very stream, and yeah, have a good one. See you tomorrow for the Empoli against